Okay, we're back here to show you the equally impressive back panel of the modular amps. Basically, all of them accompany the same features on the back, including the RM4 and RT250, as well as the two combos, RM50 and RM80. And if you guys aren't excited about what you've seen on the front panel, I think the back panel features are going to put it over the top for you. We'll start from left to right here. You have universal voltage selector here on the left side. You can select between 100 volts, 120, 220, and 240. So if you're traveling anywhere throughout the world, don't worry about having to have a tech look at this thing for you. All you do is pull the fuse out. There's a little arrow right here. Pull the fuse out and stick it in the correct voltage depending on the country you're in, and you're ready to go. If you're going to 220 or 240, it will require a fuse change, but any electronic shop should be able to accommodate you on that. The MIDI in and through capability, again, with any external effects processor that is MIDI capable, you'll be able to program certain effects to different modules. Channel 1, if you have a Blackface Cinder Twin, you might want a nice reverb through it. This one MIDI foot switch that's included with this model, called the RF3, basically will switch both units for you. You go foot switch into the input, MIDI through into the input of the external effects processor. Here's where it gets really nice and juicy, the tube power bias section. As we mentioned, this amp, the M version, comes standard with the L34s. But each tube, as you notice, has an LED light, has a bias adjustment, and also has a fuse. Now, most of the time, if a tube goes bad, generally you don't know which tube does go bad, and you're going to have to change you're either going to have to change all of the tubes because you don't know which one's bad, either 2 or 4, and you're going to have to take it to a tech. You're going to be out $50 for new tubes and $50 probably for tech work, and be out with it, be without your amp for a couple days. With this amplifier, you can basically match tubes to themselves, pull a set of tubes out and stick one in, and you're done in about 5 minutes. Now, say a tube fails, as we mentioned a little bit ago. If a tube fails, that LED is going to light up. Generally, your fuse may blow just as internal protection as well, so you may have to change the fuse. But if that tube failure lights up and the tube fails, it'll kick it out of the circuit until you can change it, say in the middle of a set break or whatnot. It's that easy. We're going to show you how to do it here. I've got a little digital multimeter. This is basically a Radio Shack thing that you can get for about $10. It has a positive and a negative down here on the bottom. Generally, the negative, the common, is the black wire. I've done this just to mess you guys up today. Actually, I couldn't find the black wire, so we're going to show you how to do this here. I'm going to try to hold and juggle a mic in both at the same time. But basically, you set it at the 2 DC volt setting. You have a common input here, as you guys notice. This is your ground input. So basically, you go ground input here. I'm going to make sure it's in play mode, obviously. Now we're going to check each tube. Each tube has a test point here. Stick the positive in the test point, and now you want to set it between 30 to 35 millivolts, and depending on the room you're in, it may be up or down a little. So 37, that's a little high. If you want to bring it down, you have a little screwdriver adjustment for each tube. You basically flathead screwdriver up or down, depending on how you want it set. Now, lower settings in the 30 range will obviously colorize your sound, give you a different voicing. Setting it up to 35 is going to give you a little hotter power section output. So it's definitely a tone variance that we recommend you try out. You keep doing that. You leave the common in the ground here, and you keep going from tube 1 to tube 2. See, they're all pretty consistent here. And basically, you don't even have to buy a set of matched tubes anymore. You can match one tube to the other 3, so you can change one at a time if one fails instead of changing all 4. Keep going to tube 3, tube 4, and basically all of them are very consistent here, so they may need to be brought down just a little bit. But a very cool section allowing you to do it yourself. It'll take you longer to pull the tubes out than it will to bias the amp. And, having the bias section on the back, you can check the bias at any time you want. Any rooms that you go into may be up or down a little bit, so you may need to check and readjust from time to time. Move on to the impedance selector. You have a 4, 8, and 16 ohm impedance selector. You have your main and extension speaker outputs. You always use the main first. If you use the extension without the main in use, it will not work. So always use the main first, and then this is your extension 412 or 212. Slave output, which is basically a line output going to another power amp for additional cabinets. As we talked earlier, a parallel loop and series loop. These are both specialized, and the parallel loop has the front and dry wet wet and dry control on the front that you want to use for all your time-based effects, reverbs, delays. All of that stuff should go in through the parallel loop. Set your external processor for 100% wet inside each one of your presets, and then use the front panel control wet and dry function to blend in the desired amount of effect. But the parallel loop is a new loop that's been designed in the past few years. It's a very nice specialized loop because it doesn't mix in with your dry guitar signal. It's separated and runs parallel. The series loop now is more of a standard that's been on amplifiers for a long time. It's a very general loop. Can be used really for anything, but is now that you have the parallel specialized loop, this loop's best used for gates, compressors, EQs, stuff like that. So it's very, very nice. As you see here, you have also 2 tubes on the top, and then you have a front input tube. So there's always 3 preamp tubes going at all times with each module. These back tube tubes, preamp tubes, are effects loop buffers. So basically, when your external effects processor goes in through the loop, it gets a nice warmed-up tone going through the tubes. So hope everyone's excited about this. Again, go to the website to check out all the sound clips. You'll find your local dealers on there as well. Any questions, you can email us at randall@randallamplifiers.com. But this is version 1 of the MTS training. We'll be back soon with more training in the future. Thanks, guys. Bye.